I was comfortable cooking with Randy Z. We're here at Edward Christian Barbecue in Bremen, where I make authentic smoked meats and killer Cajun food. Come down and give us a try. Today we're going to make some salsas, some dips, and some salads, some real fresh, alive things. So stay tuned. We'll be getting busy when we get back. Okay, now we're back. First thing we're going to do is an apple salsa. It's a little different. We're going to first take a quarter cup of apple juice and a quarter cup of red wine vinegar, and we're just going to let those meld together a little bit. When you do something with vinegar, you want to make sure that you get it in a non-reactive container, meaning plastic glass. This is stainless steel. It's okay. Not for very long, but it's okay. You just do not want aluminum. The vinegar will react with it. So what we got in there is a quarter cup of the apple juice, a quarter cup of the red wine vinegar, and I put in a quarter teaspoon of chipotle powder in there. So we got that going on. We're going to let that flavors meld so that way when I sprinkle it in, I don't get the hot pepper stuff or any of the flavors just in one concentrated area. So we're going to take a couple Granny Smith apples, and we've got a purple onion. So one of the kitchen tools, gadgets that actually do work, that I use to help me get going a little bit faster. My apple slicer there. We're going to dice these up, and then we're going to add in some cilantro and a red pepper, and then we're going to have a salsa. We can use it with our chicken salad we're going to make later, or we can keep it by itself. Nice dish to take. This is kind of the season where everybody's out eating, going to parties, going to events. It gives you something to take with you. And you always know what to take, and it's always hard to think of something, and you don't want to make anything because it's hot out and you're tired and all that. But these are going to be really easy and fresh. So just going to chop this up, dice it, and we're going to get it in a bowl, mix it up and let it set for a little while. You can do all this ahead. I try to do a little bit of knife skills for you while we're on instead of prepping everything too soon. Just want to make sure you keep your fingers out of the way. So with these dishes, anything goes here. You can use a red apple, doesn't matter. You can use pears. Just giving you an idea of a couple different things to do. I'm not a real cilantro fan, but it does go well here. If you don't like the cilantro like I do, you don't have to use it. Now this would go good with maybe like a black bean also. So this just gives you an idea where we're going. The next dish we're going to do is a white bean dip. It's going to be really good too. Summery, fresh. Do it with crackers, vegetables, and things. So get that done. I'm going to keep that one to eat. I'm going to throw these in a bowl. The good thing about the vinegar also is it will help keep your apples from turning brown. Anytime you have a fruit dish that you do, and by the time you make the dish and you get to your party and things, they're starting to turn brown, you can just splash in a little orange juice, toss it around. Like now we would put some orange juice in there, splash it around, pour off the orange juice, and that citric acid from the orange juice will help your fruit from turning brown. And the orange flavor is not going to hurt either. So here we got half of that purple onion, and I'm going to just chop off about a quarter cup of cilantro. And if you're in the market and you're looking and they're not marked, you can definitely tell cilantro by the way it smells. It's not parsley. Parsley don't smell like that. So, good thing to keep your eye on. Got a red bell pepper, and put that in there. These are easier to cut from the inside just because they're more porous. The outside's kind of like a shell. And you can use green. I always use red. They cost more, but I like the flavor a lot better. So I'm going to put that in there. And it comes down to, we've been talking sometimes about some of the different parts we use in the foods, or you do a lot of shrimp or seafood, I can't afford that, or what knives do I use, or what, a lot of questions about the money aspect. It's just whatever you can afford, really. I mean, yeah, one of these cost about as much as 3 greens, so go ahead and use the greens. It's okay. We got little mini ones too we use. I got some on the counter over there. When they're seasonal, they're usually pretty economical. So I got that in there. I'm going to stir this, make sure that my spices aren't on the bottom. I'm going to splash that around in there. I'm just going to get a spatula, fold that around a little bit, mix everything up. It'll be a little tart, a little spicy at the same time, and then you're going to get in the sweetness of that apple. It's going to be really nice. So I've got that tossed out. This is more of your salsa that you would put on a chicken salad or a fish dish. Off to the side, Mexican style. Be a little great with shrimp. And then not so much one to eat with chips or anything like that. But like I always say, there's no rules in food, just temperature and time. So I'm going to set that off. I'm going to get cleaned up for the next dish, and then we'll come back and start our bean dip. Okay, now we're back. We got done with our apple salsa, setting it off the side, waiting for our next dish after our bean dip. What we're going to make right now is going to be a cold dip. I got a can of the white kidney beans. I just want to drain off that syrup that's in there. I don't really want that. I will retain it though in case I need a little bit more moisture when I'm grinding up. And all we're going to do is throw everything in the food processor, and it's pretty much going to be done. Some of these really simple dishes. Again, you can, this is going to just be a little single one. If I make too much, then I'm got a lot of food to eat, which the crew don't mind. Going to take some already minced garlic already in the jar. Saves yourself a lot of time. Instead of using fresh, I use a lot of fresh, but I also use a lot of this. So I'm going to put in a teaspoon of that. As fast as I go through it, I empty one of these jars in a couple weeks, so it's not a problem. I got some capers. There's some little imported capers there. I'm going to put a tablespoon of those in there. I like those a lot. They're kind of salty. I like taking them with adding balsamic and pouring the brine out. Real flavorful. Put that out of my way. Here you got some fire roasted red peppers. Again, save yourself some time. You don't have to go and char your own on the grill, which I do a lot of. It's really a lot of fun watching them burn up. But it just takes time, and this here is just as quick as can be. Even though we're going in there, we want to put it in some smaller pieces so we don't end up with a big pepper ball in there. You know, while you're chopping it up, if you're going to grind it up, it's just going to blend easier. So I'm going to get about 3/4 of a cup if I can get them out of the jar. I like them because you get some big pieces in there. I mean, who stuffed that big thing in that jar? Look at that. Yeah, that fit. Somebody had to do that. So get that done. The black on there is just the roasting on them. If you don't have a grill, you can easily do them on your burner. You just turn the burner on and you drop them right on the grate there, and just let them get blackened. And then when they're done, put them in a paper bag, close them up, and it kind of lets the skin come off a lot easier. Then you just peel the skin off and you're ready to go. Pull the seeds out. If you got the time, that's great. They're real flavorful. Nothing in there salt-wise or anything to preserve it, like you have a little bit in there. I'll take a couple bigger basil leaves here. Gonna chop them up, and then I'm gonna put some on the top when we serve it. Now this could easily just stay in there in one piece and keep spinning, so that's why we're definitely gonna dice that up so it'll blend a little more. I have not made this hot. I've always made it cold, so I'm sure it'd be just as good hot. This time of year I like a lot of cold salads and dishes. And we got some Parma here. I'm going to take a couple tablespoons of the Parma. Now if you see this dark ring around here, just a little tip, that's really dried out and hard, and a lot of people go, well that's where it was aged and everything, so I'm just going to throw that away. This makes an excellent chunk and pieces for soups and stews and things. You just take that and you would shave it up, or you'd throw it in the pot in chunks, and it gives it a little extra flavor. I don't waste too many things around here, so I definitely would use that. And I got a big coarse on here. I want the big coarse. If you like it finer and you want to blend more, then you can get your microplaner and you can make it really fine. This is great when you want it to melt, or you're making Parmesan chips. That just poof goes away right away. So we got that going in. We're turning our little noise maker on and blend this up. Again, we reserve the liquid that the beans came in case this gets too thick. Then we're not adding any other components. There, good time for me to stop. Okay, any consistency you want, I like that one. It's not real chunky, it's going to be spreadable. You could even use it on some French bread toasted and spread it on there like a spread. We're doing a dip. It's got a decent consistency, it's still thick. It's not going to pour out like soup, so I'm just going to throw that on the middle of the plate. Put it in ramekins if you want, throw it in there and take it out, and people could dip into it a little bit easier. Whichever way you like it. Put some crackers on there too. And then you can set that out on a big tray or a little tray. This is single serving. If you want to make a big batch, then just double or triple up the recipe here, which you will find my recipes on my Facebook page, so check those out. Got that going there. I'm going to put just a little bit of basil on the top for a little garnish, a little more flavor. Okay, there you go. All finished. We'll get that set off to the side. I'll get switched over here and we'll come back for our chicken salad. Okay, now we're back. We're going to do our chicken salad, and basically recipes come from what's left in the house when you need to make leftovers. For example, here we have a leftover half chicken, or if you have turkey from the holidays, or you have a bucket of chicken, or you got anything, you're sick of chicken, what am I going to do with it? This is a good thing to do. First, we're going to make a little different dressing. I've got some guava juice here. It's guava nectar. You get it in the Mexican sections down that aisle of your store. I'm going to put in a half a cup of that, and it's just a little different than apple juice, orange juice, something different. I got 2 tablespoons of a Creole mustard. You can use a stone ground if you can't find the Creole. I like Creole because it's Cajun, and we do a lot of Cajun, so that's why I'm doing that. I'm just going to get that to blend up a little bit, and I'm going to leave it like we did the last one, let the flavors meld. This is going to be our dressing. It's a little different. It's going to be sweet, a little tart, and got a little spice with that Cajun. So now we're just going to break down this chicken, and then we're going to toss it with a little bit of Cajun spice. So all you could have to do is just strip the meat off, and it'd be something you can have the kids do if you got them in the kitchen working with you. It's not a lot of rocket science to it when it's really cut. Let me move that out of the way. This is a good thing. When it's already cooked, it's easy to do. Now I want to take a few minutes because I am going fast. I've been a little jacked up. Been doing live TV with the Harvest Show, so check me there every week. And that's live, so I'm on a fast pace. I got to calm myself back down. But this is something I want you to focus in on here if you can. There's been a lot of comments going around and a lot of questions at our establishment and a lot of other barbecue establishments and other restaurants. You see the pink, and this looks pink, and people are saying it's not done. And when I was at the National Barbecue Association's yearly meeting in California, we're talking to the best barbecuers in the nation, and everybody's saying at least, 10 times a night they have to go out and tell the people that it is cooked. Now what's going on here is, first of all, it's a smoked product, so your meats are going to be pink. You always have a smoke ring when you have pork or a beef product. Now what's going on is they're harvesting chickens at 5 to 6 weeks when they used to harvest them at that 10 to 12 weeks. Okay, so the chicken's putting the meat on its body, but the bones are not developing the way they should. So the bones aren't developed, which has a higher bone marrow content, and they're just not as strong. So they're like, just say they're wetter, and that's got a pink hue to it because of the blood aspect. So what happens is when you cook your chicken, it starts coming out pink, and people bite into it, and it's fresh and it's good to go, and they're like, oh, no, it's not cooked. In fact, I think we had probably this past weekend 5 people we had to explain the whole thing to. So it's something that I want you to be aware of because it is a big thing going on now. Here's the breast, and usually you don't even see any pink in a breast. I mean, there's a pink hue to it, and as closer you get to the bone is when you see all of your more pink. Well, that's what I was just talking about. That's all of that undeveloped bone because of the way they're processing chicken now coming out. So we always temp check every single thing that we cook. I've got multiple thermometers and always constantly checking. That's what you're supposed to do for health reasons. You need this chicken to get up to a certain temperature. It's always there. And then it's so juicy because that adds some more liquid to the dish. And it's tender, it's juicy, and when they cut into it or they bite into it, it's like, well, it's so tender, and then they see the pink. Well, yeah, I'm not saying that everybody's doing it the way we're doing it, but I know it's been a big issue, so I'm glad I remembered to say that because I got 2 phone calls over the weekend while I was on the road doing barbecue about people complaining. So that's what's going on there. So just take that in consideration, even if you cook a chicken yourself and you're like, well, the thermometer said it was 175, 180, why is it still pink? That's what's going on. So hopefully I educated you a little. Now, we got that broke down. I'm going to throw it into a bowl, and I'm going to put a little of my Cajun seasoning on there. You can skip this aspect if you don't like it spicy. You know, I love it spicy. Just going to sprinkle maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon on there. Just give a little pop to that. Drop that back out of there. Not a problem there. Going to leave that sit. We got Boston lettuce here. I got my glove on because of the grease of the chicken there. We got a regular and a red. No reason, just color difference. So I'm going to just get that out. You can plate these any way you want. I'm not into a big plate presentation kind of thing. It's, to me, I want to eat. I don't want it to look pretty. It's not important to me. I'll lay that out. And use romaine, use iceberg, use whatever you got. I just like this as kind of a different flavor. I like the way it lays out too. It's neat. You can take this and you could take that bean dip we had and stuff it in there, and you could roll it up and have yourself a little wrap right there in the lettuce. You wouldn't have to add another layer to the game. So I'm going to lay that down. That's good enough. I'll put some chicken on there. And got some little grape tomatoes. Again, I always tell you, here's my knife. It's a tomato knife. If you don't have one, you're going to find you can cut easier with a serrated knife. This has little bumps on it, little serrated. It's good. Your knives are in bad shape. I could still cut with this. I have really quality knives. I know you get frustrated with a ripe tomato too, that you're squishing it and everything. Get a good serrated knife to do your tomatoes. If your knives are in bad shape, go take them to my buddy that takes care of all mine. I got like $3,000 in knives, and I trust this guy with it. So Bill at SharpRite in South Bend there, he handles my stuff perfectly. He takes really good care of my knives. I see him about every couple weeks, and he loves when I walk in because he loves sharpening quality stuff. So got that other half of that purple onion we didn't use from the previous dish we made earlier there. We're going to put some of that on there. You can build these any way you want. Again, this is just giving you some new ideas. Got some sunflower seeds. A few of those on there. Pine nuts would go good too. It's like the saltiness of the sunflower seed. You take an avocado. Now, another thing, stop squeezing them. They look right. Everybody that goes up and squeezes them, and by the time they ripen up, you get nothing but a bunch of black in them. See, no squeezes, no black marks. I don't know what that is. Then you got the person that has to peel the corn husk back to look at the corn. Then it dries out. It's corn. It's going to be fine, or they wouldn't put it in the marketplace. How bad can corn get in 2 days? So just me and my grocery shopping experiences. Everybody's squeezing and grabbing everything. Lay some avocado on there. Now avocado is like, I call it a grenade. Once you open that shell, you won't have a lot of time. So don't do the avocado if you're taking this somewhere until you get there, or it will definitely be brown, and there isn't much I can do about that. Okay, now I'm going to get this off, so let's slip around. Got a mango. I'm going to add a little mango to that. Now that mango seed's going to be right about on the edge there. And these are not fun. See, I just caught the edge of it. So what you're doing is basically you're just whittling around it, getting whatever chunks out of there you can. And they're not fun. You got to be very careful because you can easily slip and take your finger off there. So you can take a peeler, and you can come down and you can peel it and then cut it up. But I find that that's slipperier there, and I'm trying to cut it now. I've just got rid of my grip. So I'll just take them and peel them off the bottom like that. You can just lay that in there. Dice that up if you'd like, if you don't want those big pieces. Let's take that skin off. Get that little piece of seed out of there. There you go. This is going to be good. Chicken, fruit, Cajun feeling with a little bit of Caribbean taste with the fruit. You can put it on a round plate. That just looks like I'm going to drop that by the time I serve it. Okay, come back and grab a whisk. Whip up our dressing really good. Okay, that is ready to go. Take that. Okay, there you go. Good chicken salad with leftovers. Gonna get cleaned up and bring our dishes back here and then have a few closing thoughts when I get back. Okay, now we're back. We talked earlier when we made that apple salsa that we would do a salad with that too, so I pulled that back out, and we're going to make a real quick one there because we got the chicken left, and when you do this, you can taste the difference of the two. So we'll get this one here, we don't have to really do much. We're just going to dump the salsa on there. I'm going to add our tomatoes though. I do want some of those in there. And off camera when I was switching, we're talking a lot about the chicken thing, and I'm glad I had an opportunity to tell you that, because even one of the guys was saying they cooked a whole one the other day and they were freaking out because they didn't think they did it right because it was so pink. And it's just what's going on. You know about it now, then you don't worry so much about it. I like educating. I don't know very much, but when I do, I don't mind sharing. So I'm going to put that apple salsa on there. I'm not going to do a dressing here. I'm just going to pour the sauce we got in here on it. And that'll be the dressing. So you got one there with the avocado and the mango, and then you got another one with the apple salsa. So it's all good. Just get a little bit of that out of there. It's like a vinaigrette now because of the vinegar that was in there, so it's not a problem. Yeah, that one there I would just take, I don't use very often, but just a pinch of salt on there will bring that apple to life a little more. So there's nothing wrong with that. So what we got here, we had a real couple simple things. Our salsa there, our apple salsa, is good by itself, great to take to an event, take with you somewhere, have on the side with some fish or anything. Then we came in and popped out this quick and easy in the blender bean dip, and I've been eating it off camera. It's good. I don't eat it very often, but that was good. You serve it with any vegetables you want, crackers, even toasted bread. And then here we got our mango and our avocado chicken salad, and we could put some Cajun rub on that chicken when we did it. Just a leftover dish right there. The only thing really we didn't have laying around was the mango. You know, that's not a common thing in most people's kitchen. So we got that done and came back and said, well, let's go ahead and use the salsa in another salad. So right there we did that real quick. So it was really simple stuff. I kind of went a little quick today. I'm still wired from that live TV stuff. So this is real time. We don't redo anything. This will just tell you how you can actually just simple. Get back in the kitchen, be comfortable about it. That's why it's called comfortable cooking. I want you to be comfortable. And don't make too many hard dishes. That way you won't give up on me and you'll go, well, that's way over my head. I don't know what he's talking about. So we try to do simple things. We do a lot of different things, but a lot of simple things. So give these a try. It's good and healthy for you. I mean, apples and fresh vegetables. Beans are great for you. I mean, they have great fiber in them. There's a ton of protein in there. They're really good too. So you got a win-win situation going on there. Beans and vegetables. So it's all good. And this is so fresh. It's wonderful. This would be a killer one too if you put shrimp in there instead of the chicken. That would be great. That'd be really good.